Emily surveyed her surroundings, she realized that something had changed. The air felt lighter, and the shadows no longer seemed to reach out to her with malevolent intent. It was as if the darkness that had plagued the mansion for so long had been banished by her actions. But as she turned to leave, a sense of unease settled over her once more. She couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching her, lurking in the shadows just out of sight. Ignoring her instincts, Emily pushed forward, determined to put the nightmare behind her once and for all. But as she reached the edge of the forest, a voice called out to her from the darkness. "Emily," it whispered, sending chills down her spine. She turned toward the sound, her heart pounding in her chest. And there, standing amidst the trees, was the ghostly figure of Mr. Pembroke, his eyes filled with sorrow and longing. He reached out to her, his hand outstretched as if pleading for her help. Driven by a sudden impulse, Emily stepped closer to him, her fear forgotten in the face of his suffering. But as she reached out to touch him, he vanished into thin air, leaving her standing alone in the darkness. Confused and shaken, Emily stumbled backward, her mind reeling with unanswered questions. What had happened to the Pembroke family, and why had they reached out to her for help? As she pondered the mysteries of the mansion, a cold wind swept through the trees, carrying with it the faint echo of a whisper that spoke of secrets buried deep within the heart of Evergreen Hollow, waiting to be uncovered by those brave enough to seek the truth. For weeks after her harrowing experience in the Pembroke Mansion, Emily found herself plagued by nightmares. She would wake in a cold sweat, the echoes of the screams still ringing in her ears. Determined to uncover the truth behind the mansion's haunting, Emily delved into its dark history, scouring old newspapers and dusty archives for clues. But the more she searched, the more elusive the answers seemed to become. It wasn't until she stumbled upon an old journal hidden in the depths of the town library that she began to unravel the mysteries of Evergreen Hollow. The journal belonged to Elizabeth Pembroke, the youngest daughter of the family, and it chronicled the events leading up to the night of the fire. As Emily pored over its pages, she discovered a tale of betrayal and tragedy. A tale of a family torn apart by greed and jealousy. It seemed that Mr. Pembroke had been involved in a secret affair with a woman from town, and when his wife discovered the truth, she vowed to take revenge. But as Emily delved deeper into the journal, she uncovered something even more sinister. A pact made with dark forces in exchange for power and wealth. It seemed that the Pembroke family had unwittingly unleashed a malevolent entity upon Evergreen Hollow, one that had haunted the town for generations. Armed with this newfound knowledge, Emily set out to confront the darkness that lurked within the heart of Evergreen Hollow. With the help of her friends, she retraced the steps of the Pembroke family, following the trail of clues left behind in the journal. And as they ventured deeper into the forest, they discovered a hidden chamber buried beneath the roots of an ancient oak tree. Inside, they found the remnants of a ritual gone awry, a circle of candles and arcane symbols etched into the stone floor. But before they could uncover the full extent of the darkness that lay within, they were confronted by a figure cloaked in shadow, a figure that bore a striking resemblance to Mr. Pembroke himself. With a voice like ice, the figure warned Emily and her friends to turn back, lest they suffer the same fate as the Pembroke family. Emily refused to be deterred, her determination burning brighter than ever before. And so, with courage in their hearts and the light of truth to guide them, Emily and her friends confronted the darkness head-on, banishing the malevolent entity from Evergreen Hollow once and for all. As the last traces of darkness faded from the town, Emily stood amidst the ruins of the Pembroke Mansion, a sense of peace washing over her at last. The nightmare was finally over, and Evergreen Hollow was free from the grip of the malevolent entity that had haunted it for so long. But as Emily surveyed the town below, she couldn't shake the feeling that their journey was far from over. For though they had vanquished the darkness that lurked within Evergreen Hollow, there were other forces at play. Forces that threatened to plunge the town into darkness once again. With a renewed sense of purpose, Emily vowed to remain vigilant, to protect Evergreen Hollow from whatever darkness may come. For she knew that the true test of courage was not in facing the darkness, but in standing up to it, no matter the cost. And as she looked out over the town, a sense of hope filled her heart. For though the shadows may linger, they could never extinguish the light of truth that burned within her, guiding her onward into the unknown.